Dude, if I was a banker, and I was a piece of shit banker, I would be so fucking paranoid that someone was going to whack me for all the misery and suffering that I fucking, that I've been causing. The fact that I turned a fucking pond into my own jacuzzi, right? I can park my yacht in my fucking jacuzzi. And I just sit there, eating fucking crab legs and caviar every fucking day, standing on fucking dead babies' heads. There's no fucking way I would ever get in a fucking town car. There's no way. There's no way. I would have whoever my Fredo, of my litter of kids, whoever the Fredo was, that was to be the guy that I had driving the car. Although in The Godfather, he was looking out for Marlon Brando, and then he got shot, right? So I don't fucking know. Anyways. Oh, I read some really interesting shit about how Iceland beat the bankers. When Iceland went bankrupt, and then the bankers tried to pull this shit where, yeah, we were greedy cunts, and now we're putting the debt on you and your taxpayers. They said, you know what? Fuck you. This isn't our debt. This is our mess. It's yours. And then all these fucking sellout cunts like fucking Amsterdam and Britain put all this pressure on fucking Iceland because they pussied out with the bankers. They've been on their knees sucking that banker cock for fucking ever. They tried to fucking get them to come along. They tried to pressure them, and or else we'll turn you into the Cuba of the North. And they said, fuck you. We're not doing it. And you know what? That's what this country should have done. This country should have told those banker fucking cunts. I'm beside myself that it isn't brought up more. It's the whole thing. Like, I have water damage to my house. My insurance company sends a check that's made out to me, Nia, and then my mortgage company. And we have to sign the check over to them so they keep the money. And you know why that is? Because they fucked so many people so fucking hard in the ass. So many people are upside down in houses because of the bullshit that they created by making people who aren't qualified for loans qualified. So instead of having 5 people bid on a house, you got 10 people bidding on it, and it goes up like Super Bowl tickets, right? And all of a sudden, a house that's really worth $180 sells for $270. So you got these cunts. Everybody's fucking upside down in the house. So they're like, well, fuck it, I'm keeping this money. And then when they foreclose on it, they fucking come in, and they're like, fuck, they never fixed the roof. So now I have to sign over my goddamn money. It's my money. It's my insurance. That's my insurance money. I have to send it into them. You know why? Because, people, it's not my house. It's their fucking house. It's theirs. All right? And if I ever pay this fucker off, which you know I'm gonna, I drive a 6-year-old hybrid. All right? I don't give a fuck. I dress like Malcolm Young because I'm getting these cunts out of my life. And this is what's going to happen. I'm going to pay off this fucking house. And you think when I die, I can just give it to somebody else? It's my house, right? If I can fucking give away all my other shit, why can't I give the house? The house is going to have all taxes and all these penalties and all this bullshit. And whoever I fucking leave it to is going to be like, you know what? It's just going to be easier to sell it. And then they sell it. And whatever money they make, they get the shit taxed out of them. They get half a dick in their ass. And then somebody else buys this thing, and then the bank goes balls deep in them for another fucking 30 years. You know what? Halfway through that, I realized, am I sounding crazy or am I making sense? I don't know. I talked to a banker in a titty bar. He agreed with everything I said. I've been watching a bunch of shit on Netflix. I'm big on I like documentaries, And I watched 1.5 last night before I fell asleep. I watched this thing called The Queen of Versailles, which you have to see. And it's basically about this guy, 75 years old. 75 years old. He married Miss Florida in 1993, so he's fucking balling. Has 7 kids with her, right? And he sells timeshares, which, is really a shady fucking business. Hey, I don't know. What is it, fucking timeshare? It's a fucking overpriced hotel room, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. What am I buying? If I spend all that money, I don't want to be laying in a bed that somebody else has been fucking in. I want a brand new bed, okay? That's deal number one. Because other than that, I can go lay in a bed that everybody else fucked in all year long. It's called a hotel, right? But this guy was the biggest timeshare company in the world, according to him. And he was in the middle of building the biggest house in America, and it had 10 kitchens. There's fucking 9 people in their family. They have one more kitchen than they have people in their family. All right? You have to watch just to see them. I mean, it's not finished yet because in 2008 they got caught up on all the banker shit. And, but you just have to see when his wife walks in with her friend, and when they walk up these stairs, I'm telling you, these fucking stairs are wider than the stairs at Grand Central Station in New York City. They go upstairs, and the fucking friend of the Miss 1993 Florida is like, because they haven't like put the walls up. It's just the framing of it. She goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "Is that your bedroom?" And she goes, "No, it's my closet." It's But if you really want to see, okay, now a lot of people will watch the Queen of Versailles and go, "Look at these 2 selfish fucking people and all the waste and all that." Abso-fucking-lutely. That's on the fucking surface. But underneath all of it, you see a guy who doesn't want to declare bankruptcy and put that money on the American people and wants to fight his way out of it, and the bankers won't do it. Like, he had a building out in fucking Vegas. He put $350 million of his own fucking money in, and now he can't make the payments. So he wants the bankers to try and, give him some of the bailout money, and they kept all of it, because this is the thing. If they get him to default on that, they get to keep his $350 million and sell the fucking building all over again. And obviously this guy, he got overextended. He made the mistake of not realizing, what bankers are and what it is that they do. They're not your friends. They're not trying to help you grow your fucking business. They're trying to make every fucking dime off you as they can. And when it's over, you bust the joint out. I just started thinking about the fucking Goodfellas. Well, they start burning it down. But rather than burning the place down, it's you. The Ray Liotta and fucking Joe Pesci are fucking tying those little candle things to you. Trying to bang this fucking Jew broad over here. You can't help me out? What's the world coming to? And then you burn to the ground. That's it. But the building's still standing, and then they get some other group to go in there, and then they fuck them in the ass. I'm telling you. We should all, as civilians, remember the ending of Scarface when they were coming over the wall? That's what we should be doing right now in gated communities, going to bankers' fucking houses. We should be dragging them out by the tassels of their fucking wingtips. New house. Dearest Billy Boy, keeping it short and sweet due to your undying hatred for reading out loud. I actually don't mind it. I hate sounding stupid. My fiance and I are moving into our first house on Friday. Any last-minute advice? Yes. Well, it's too late. You already bought a fucking house. My first thing would be drive less of a car, wear less clothes, everything less, and start knocking out the principal. All right? You got to start knocking that fucking thing down. And then once you knock it down to a certain point, then they're going to come at you and be like, "Hey, do you want to refinance? You want to refinance? Look, your mortgage payment will go from $1,500 down to $1,200. That'll save you $300 a month." That's all a fucking scam. Okay? Do you really think there's somebody who works at the bank and his job, and he's sitting there going, "How can this bank make less money?" Oh, I know what. I mean, how long would that guy work there before he got fired? It's a scam. Because what happens is if you're like 4 or 5 years into your mortgage, they're going to refinance it, and your payment doesn't go down $300 and you're still 5 years in. It starts back at 0. All right? Now you have that payment for 30 years, and you're starting all fucking over again. So the $300 that you're saving each month, they're making more in the fucking interest in the long run because they sent you back to square one. It's all a fucking scam. I'm telling you, go to the gated communities and go over the fucking wall. Don't really do that, all right? I don't want to be held responsible for that. These are all jokes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, here's a nice creepy thing. It's really not a nice creepy thing. It's just sort of a fucking creepy thing. So we rented this car when we drove up from Calgary drove up to Edmonton from Calgary. And we had the thing. Actually, we picked it up at the airport. And, yeah, we were driving over to the casino. That's what it was, driving over to the casino. And I just look on the dashboard. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is that on the dashboard? I'm like, is that a camera? I think it was a camera. And I think it was pointed at us because there was nothing in the front. I don't know if it was the GPS antenna. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was really creepy. So I, of course, threw a fucking newspaper over the goddamn thing. And
when I got back to the hotel, I looked up about cars and cameras, and I found this article here. It says, "Is your rental car company spying on you and your driving? Here's how they do it." All right. Rental car giant Hertz has admitted it has cameras installed in about 1 in 8 of its cars in the United States. But those cameras built into Hertz's never lost dashboard assistant that offers routing help and local city guides have never been turned on. Give me a fucking, really? You spent all that money and you never turned them on, you lying cunts? Hertz has said loudly and repeatedly they've never turned them on. Understand that Never Lost 6 was launched by Hertz in early 2014. The product has been out there for over a year, and only now is it causing flap, probably because most renters began noticing a creepy camera pointed at them. Understand, too, there are excellent reasons to worry about car rental companies spying on drivers, but very probably Never Lost 6 is not one of them. Hertz said it lacked the bandwidth to use the cameras anyway, but it is scorched so severely in the media flap of the past weeks that industry experts indicated that Hertz now would be just about the last company to spy on its customers. Does any of that make any sense? That you'd put a camera in there and then you wouldn't use it? You'd install a camera and, oh, we're just a little mom and pop place. We don't have the fucking bandwidth for it. Some of this shit's funny. They actually find some people like hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars using this shit. And basically, when you rent a car and they go, okay, you got to stay in the tri-state area or you're not leaving California, right? Some fucking guy, he left California, went to Nevada and then Arizona, and then they gave him I don't know where the fuck it was. He was slapped with a bill of $3,405.05 by adding $1 per mile to each of the 2874 miles he had driven because he had crossed the California state line into Nevada. To me, that's funny. Okay? Because that guy's a piece of shit. He lied to the car company. All right? I'm not just saying Hertz is a piece of shit. People who buy rental cars and they treat them like shit are also pieces of shit. But but to sit there and film people and then, they're going to start recording conversations. Do you understand, like, in the future, okay, you go to run for president, like, what could, like, bring you down is some fucked up thing you said, some argument you had in the car with some girlfriend you're not even with 20 years earlier, and they just bring that up in the middle of the debate. Like, I think in the future, like, once you become a public figure, they will just have on a disc, and it's all going to be logged. Anything you ever fucking did, like questionable shit, good shit that you did, all the balance, they'll probably just have like a pie chart. Okay, here's his life disc, and the good stuff is in whatever, green or yellow, man, right? All the nice, friendly fucking colors. And then the bad shit will be all in like red. I don't know if you're prone to depression, there'll be like some blue in there. And they'll just look at the big pie chart and try to judge it then overall what kind of a fucking person you are. I don't know, it's really creepy. This is another one that was funny to me. It says in Florida, rental car companies are notorious for literally shutting off engines of cars that cross state lines. The cars may be restarted upon agreement to pay the new fees. That's fucking hilarious. Now here's my question. How do you know they're not in the left lane doing 90 miles an hour with somebody on that bumper and you're just going to shut off their car? That you have to wait until the car stops. I would like to think that. But I don't know. Part of me, I don't mind if they track you with the GPS as far as that and if you leave the state lines. I mean, that's only fair. You're fucking lying to them and the technology exists. But that shit to start recording conversations and videotaping you is like, I don't know, man. That really crosses a line. I don't know. Some people say, well, what about all these assholes texting and driving? They're killing people and that type of shit. There has to be a better way. What do you guys think? There's got to be a better way to keep. I mean, I don't even know how safe you have to make the world. I mean, there's too many fucking people. Can you let some people die? I mean, I know that's really morbid to say that shit, but I don't know. I'm kind of a fucked up person. So why would you listen to me? Why would you listen to this podcast?
Here's some conspiracy theory for you. Somebody said, Bill, he wrote, they are watching. And I got trashed for talking about conspiracy theory. I've been trashed for talking about those automated checkout lines in the grocery store.
and saying that I'm paranoid and I'm afraid of technology and all this technology is just going to help my life and make my life more easier. And why don't you trust these big fucking corporations, basically? It's the shit that people are giving me. So I have to get in trash for all, talking shit about all these corporations and actually having the audacity to think that bankers were all trying to team up and have one world bank, to become the loan sharks for not only individual but actual countries. Okay? Which is something that I was thinking about when I was at the Rose Bowl, stone sober, and I was sitting there on the golf course, and I was looking at these houses up on the ridge of this hill that actually looked down on the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. These people have a house that looks down on it. And I was actually envisioning that those were all bankers up there. And while the game was going on, and 104,000 people, or 96,000, whoever showed up for that game, were sitting there going fucking crazy. One of those piece of shit bankers up there could put his hand on his son's shoulder and be like, see all those people down there? They owe all of us money. They all owe me money, son. I'm getting a piece of all of their fucking paychecks. And they don't even know it. They don't even know that their daddy is looking down on them right now. Now, had I been drinking, that thought would have probably caused me to, entertain the thought of climbing up that hill and throwing a rock through one of the windows, which, of course, I wouldn't have done because even my drunkest, I am aware that I don't want to go to jail and get raped. And secondly, I'm not going to go all the way up that fucking hill. So what I would have done is I probably would have yelled at that kid with the light purple slacks. I would have commented really loud about that dude's fucking eczema flaking off into the back of his goddamn sweatshirt. So anyways, this guy sends me this email, and he says, Bill, the theys in this blog, when I say they are watching, are big business, not the Illuminati, but they are just as evil as any bank or secret society. They don't even need your signature. Listen to this shit. They don't even need your signature for these information-gathering traderware programs to monitor everything from where the device is to what your heart rate is. What is traderware? That's the question I had. Your digital camera may embed metadata into photographs with camera's serial number or your location. Your printer may be incorporating a secret code on every page it prints, which could be used to identify the printer and potentially the person who used it. Now the fucking morons, the sheep out there would be like, yeah, that's in case you threaten the president. They're just doing it for the good of all people. If Apple puts a particularly creepy patent, I guess Apple's applying for this, is recently applied for the use you can look forward to a day when your iPhone may record your voice, take a picture of your location, record your heartbeat, and send that information back to the mothership. This is traderware, devices that act behind your back and betray your privacy. Now, this is what the moron sheep are going to be to say. Well, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, what's the problem? That's the philosophy. That was the philosophy behind why they can record your phone calls now. If you ain't doing nothing, we'll taste you. Come on, frogs. You ain't doing nothing wrong. Do you realize how fucking dumb that mindset is? So basically, as long as you do what the people in power tell you what to do, you won't have a problem. Do you understand how dangerous that is? Do you understand how fucking stupid it is to have that level of faith in the people who rule you? You know what I mean? You haven't noticed how much power can fuck somebody over? Like, for some reason, we only seem to focus on when celebrities get famous and then they wig out and start becoming these fucking mini tyrants. For some reason, people don't feel, they just have like this, because they wave the flag and they play those songs that make you choked up, that they never feel like that they'll have any sort of ulterior motive for this. This is the type of technology that allows a small group of people to take over the world. Something that sociopaths have been trying to do since the beginning of time. And they were never able to do it because at some point your army would be stretched too thin. Right? The Germans, the fucking Roman Empire, all that shit. At some point, the fucking Japanese, all of them. Everybody who's ever tried to fucking do it, at some point, it gets stretched too thin. So America, what we've done is we've done the we're putting this base here to protect you thing, that brilliant thing. That's how we got our world empire. So we just have a base then also we have these insane weapons where we can nuke everybody. So we were able to kind of do it that way. But the problem is when you really get into sociopathic thought and just like those people who are so into power that it makes their dick hard, is they want to know, they want to be able to see everybody, know what they're thinking, and know what they're doing at all times. Because not only are they psychos, but with that level of power becomes this unbelievable level of paranoia. Like those people with those houses sitting on the ridge looking down into the Rose Bowl. There's a fear. Like we sit there looking up at it and go, look, they got the fucking world. There is a fear of when you attain that level of wealth of losing all of it. And you begin on this quest to quiet your mind. You want to get a level of wealth and control in your life that you are guaranteed that it will never go away in your lifetime, or your kid's lifetime, or your kid's kids. So basically, everybody that you know and love will be okay, and you will be okay. You get into that psychotic fucking mindset. And you give those kinds of people this level of fucking technology, and you're going to have a problem. I think that's unbelievable that this shit is. So they have this website here, the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, that is trying to fight these things being put into the tech, the cameras, the cell phones, and all that shit. Like the fact that there's a tracking device in your cell phone. Like, how come we didn't get to vote on that? How come we don't get to vote on that type of stuff? I don't want people knowing where the fuck I am at all goddamn times. Okay? And I don't need you to show me, oh, we caught this fucking child molester with that. So because of that, now everybody has to be like, give me a fucking break. They always have like, there's, a handful of good examples for that level of fucking control. And then there's a zillion bad ones. So I am 100% against this shit. And there's always been evil people in the fucking world. There's always going to be evil fucking people in the world. And when you have this kind of technology, you're gonna stop. They're gonna stop small evil, like individual, a fucking serial rapist, which you definitely want to stop. All right. But the price we're going to pay is you're going to allow a Stalin or a Hitler, Pol Pot, whoever the fuck you want to, you're going to, with that level of technology, someone like that could get in power and run the fucking world. So, I don't know. And I totally 100% believe that. You could roll all your fucking eyes all you want. I honestly believe that. And I also believe that the reason why there's so many of us right now and that the people at the top are not fucking concerned about it is because we're all expendable. And when the waters rise up, the temperatures goes up and everything, they're not going to be the ones who are drowning. You can guarantee that they're using our taxpayer money to build some sort of something to make sure that they're okay. And I think that their bailout plan, because they know they can't stop people from fucking because it feels too goddamn good, and dicks and pussies are readily available to anyone. It's like air, So I think what they're going to gradually do is phase us out with robots and automated shit, which is why I refuse to use it. Now, how fucking crazy do I sound right now? Has there been anything funny in the last fucking 5? This is shit that I truly believe. Corporations own like the DNA of a grizzly bear. That's why they don't give a fuck that they're cutting down its habitat. They're like, I will fucking grow another one in a petri dish. We're trying to take over everything. And then wipe out, I think they're going to try to wipe out the poor and the middle class. Keep a couple of us, like a small handful of us, the way that pandas are only in like zoos at this point or some shit. I don't know. Maybe I picked the wrong fucking animal, but that's the direction I think it's going. All right? There's your first crazy rant, which was based mainly in gut feelings and a couple of emails. But I truly believe that. Dear Bill, recently I had to return some items at the mall. It was the day after Christmas, and I was with a girl I was dating. With the girl that I was dating. She wanted to return some shoes, so we went to the Journey store where the shoes were bought. When she got to the counter to return the shoes, the girl behind the counter asked her for her name, address, email, and phone number. Oh, my God. The amount of fucking people who actually give out that information. My girlfriend just gave the information over as soon as the girl asked for it. We were leaving the store. I remarked that I thought it was bullshit that she had to give away personal information to return a pair of shoes. She said it was not a big deal, but I didn't like it. All right. Why the fuck would you give somebody all that information? And just in case you're new to my podcast, just say, you can say no. Can I go out to buy shit all the time. Can I have your phone number? No. I don't even try to make it nice. I just say no. And then they go, oh, okay. Why do you feel like you got to give them their information? You're trying to buy something. I'm sorry, I can't sell you this unless I get your information. Well, then go fuck yourself. I'll buy it somewhere else. I don't even need it anyways. So anyways, he goes, next we go to American Eagle. You guys hit all the hot spot, huh? Then we went to Cinnabon. Next we went to American Eagle, where I had to return a shirt that was a gift. There was a long line for returns. Why'd you return the shirt? Did it not fit, or was it ugly as hell, or was it both? As I was waiting in line, one of the employees comes up to me with a clipboard with a little form to fill out. Now, is anybody else kind of getting the prison camp vibe here? You're standing in line to get processed, and there's a guy coming up. And what is your name, please? Your phone number? I stopped the employee and asked her why she needed this information, and she says that it was to verify my purchase. How fucking dumb are people? You going to verify my purchase? Well, here's the sales slips there, sweetheart. This verifies it. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you and your clipboard, why don't you hold that clipboard between your little fucking beef curtains and take a fucking walk down the street? How about that, huh, sweetheart? Sir, there's no reason to use that type of language. Go fuck yourself. Huh? How about I fucking grab that ponytail and just, no, let's keep it clean this week, shall we, people? Anyway, he goes, before I could protest further, she said that I could just put my name on it. Oh, on the clipboard? When she walked away, I pulled out the gift receipt and said to my girlfriend, oh, here it is. Yeah, this is what verifies my purchase. Exactly. The clipboard employee wasn't as far away as I thought she was and heard me say, did I read that wrong? Yeah, heard me say this, and she began to explain further why I needed to give over the information. This is the part of the email I hate. He goes, I apologized and told her I realized it wasn't her and that it was just her company's policy that she was enforcing. She walked away again. I felt bad, so the next time I saw her, I apologized and said I realized that she was just doing her job, but she ignored me. She was probably pissed because it was the day after Christmas and I was causing her grief, but she could at least accept my apology, you bitch. I love how you go from being totally liberal and seeing somebody's fucking side of it to being, yeah, man up, you cunt. Anyway, I got up to the counter, and there wasn't any further problems. The guy at the register just took my name and didn't ask me for anything. I felt as though I had a small victory against the big corporations. Then this week, I had to go back to the store to return a hat my girlfriend got. Did you guys not make Christmas lists? Or are all your relatives blind? This seems to be a lot of returning of gifts. This is hilarious. You're returning a hat that your girlfriend got you. Dude, how horrific was that hat? Can you please send me a picture of it? If you took one before you returned it. Picture one of those a plaid Charlie Chaplin hat. I had the receipt, but again, the girl at the register asked me for my address and phone number. I said I didn't want to give that information to her. Immediately, panic sets in on her face, and she says that I have to. I said that I didn't have to the day after Christmas, and I wasn't going to now. Good for you. She calls over a coworker, and they both get defensive and hold to the idea that I have to give over my information in order to return a stupid hat, even though I had my receipt. I asked why, and they let me slide. Why did they let me slide on this before? And they maintained that I had to give them my name, address, and phone number. So what did I do in the face of corporate opposition? I caved, and I gave it to them. You fucking pussy. Dude, the second you saw the panic on their face, you knew that they were going to lose. All right? He goes, I just don't get it, Bill. Why is a receipt not enough nowadays? It is enough. They say they need our personal information to verify a purchase. They're not, dude. They're not. All right? All of that shit, all those little save, you want to get one in our discount store, they're creating a file on you. They figure out what you want to buy, what they can market towards you, and then they take that information and they sell it to other fucking companies. Even though they say they're not going to, they sell your information. Your information gets up on the internet, and that's why there's all these creepy websites out there right now that have all this fucking information about you, about, how many siblings you have, your brothers and sisters' names. They all use that information to fucking, I'm telling you. Don't give them your information. You don't have to give them your information. And people out there who just have this fucking attitude towards these corporations, just sitting there going like, well, you know, what do they got? I mean, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, I mean, what do I care if they know where I live? What do I care? Just fucking morons. I don't even, I've explained this shit till I'm blue in the face, and then I always get these emails from these people, they just, I don't know, I can't even, I said something the other day, you know, I was listening to sports radio, you know, because I'm a deep thinker, right? And this new guy got on sports radio out here in Los Angeles, and, you know, he does what most people do when they have nothing to say, which is they just go over the top arrogant. You know what I mean? Like, he was talking about how he wanted to get some sort of sports coach or personality on the show, but he doubted he could get him as a guest because the guest hated him. And he goes, you know, because I disagreed with him on some. He was talking to a coach, and he was actually disagreeing with the fucking coach. He's disagreeing with the guy. And he goes, you know what the problem is? You know, he goes, like, I'm just like such a good debater. I actually end up like convincing myself of my own opinion. He actually said that over the airwaves, and I just sort of muttered to myself that the confidence of morons is staggering. You know what I mean? Morons think they know everything. That's what makes them fucking morons. And like the emails I get with people who don't question this shit, which is, I don't know, like last week when I went off on my little fucking rant there, just some of the fucking emails I get. It's like people are sending me shit that kind of is backing up what I'm saying and then telling me that I sound like I have tinfoil on my fucking head, which obviously I am out of my fucking mind on some level, but I'm not out of my mind when I don't trust corporations, and I don't trust them when they say we're not going to do anything with this information. The other day I was in CVS and I go to buy something, and the lady asked me, did I have a save card? And I said, no. She said, do you want one? And I said, no. And she goes, well, that's okay. And she swiped the fucking thing anyways. And I was like, lady, what did I just say to you? Now, see, if I use my credit card, they'd have my name and then to match up to that fucking number and what the hell I just bought and just a little bit more information about me. And my question to all you people who have this faith in these corporations, why does that person do that? Why are they so hell-bent on trying to make that corporation less money in that moment? They give me this card. You know, like everybody has those cards, so you're not saving any fucking money. It's a big fucking shell game to make it seem, ooh, look, you're saving money. What they're really doing, they're like, hey, look at this hand over here, is you're giving them all your personal fucking information that they can then use to at the very least sell to other corporations to increase junk mail and also to limit your fucking level of privacy. The fact that they can put all that shit up on the goddamn internet. People have been sending me these random websites where they have like your name and your address, where you fucking live and all this type of shit. It's like, how do you think that they get all that information? Do you think there's somebody sitting there with a phone book and just typing all of this shit in? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Let's what kills me. If some fucking random creepy guy, you know, you're standing there waiting for the subway, came up to you, asked you what your name, your phone number, and your address was, would you give it to him? No. But for some reason, you're inside of a fucking store, and there's socks and sweaters, and somebody has a name tag. Now, all of a sudden, you give them total fucking trust. You're out of your mind. So, sir, don't cave in. All right? All you just say that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I want to speak to the manager. What they're doing, it's not legal yet. It's not legal yet, but I can guarantee you there's somebody lobbying for it that in Washington. There's some sort of fucking high-powered lobbying group, I swear to God, is probably lobbying that from here on out, we need to have a law that if you're going to return a hat, you have to give us your name, your address, and your social security number, just so there's not another 9/11. Can guarantee it. So, yeah, you don't have to. That's actually one of the highlights of my day. What I do now is when they say, do you have our little Savey Save card? And I say, no, I don't. Would you like one? No, I don't. I then say, and please don't swipe another one. You know? And then I try to pay with cash. I love cash. Cash is fucking anonymous. All you guys out there who are sitting there watching these commercials where they make it look like credit cards are so fucking easy, you're idiots. You're buying into exactly what they want you to buy into, which is a cashless society, so they can keep track of where you are at all fucking times and every last fucking dime that you make, so they can get their greedy little fucking hands on it. You're out of your mind, and you're giving up an unbelievable amount of fucking privacy by creating a paper trail everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, what you're doing, where you're at, you know, and the sea of morons who are going to sit there and go, well, if you ain't doing anything wrong. I mean, I guess maybe I'm a paranoid psycho. You look at all these fucking idiots who do reality TVs and they let cameras come into their house and they don't seem to care about it. Maybe the average jackass doesn't give a shit. But, sir, for the love of God, you know, in the end he says, I'm not crying conspiracy. It's very plain to see what they're doing. It's not malicious or evil. Yes, it is. It is malicious, and it is evil, and it is a conspiracy. They're conspiring to get everybody's information, find out what they buy, and they're lying to you, saying that they're not going to share the information. It's everything that you're saying it's not. It is. All right? And that's it. That's 2 weeks in a row I'm on the soapbox. See, people, don't you like it better when I talk about sports?
What else? What else did I want to talk about? What else was a big... Oh, you know what I started to watch? I started to watch, before I came down, I'm taping this Sunday night. I started to watch the Trump-Hillary debate. I mean, I just still cannot fucking believe these are our two choices. And, dude, Trump, I got to give it up to Trump, dude. That guy's one-liners are just, for a politician, Jesus Christ, he kills. The guy fucking kills. He's great on his feet. He'd make a terrible president. He's got no idea what the fuck he's doing or what he's even talking about. It's just like the dope versus the devil. You know, and I know everybody, oh, that old fucking, you know, that shit that he said, I just go up, I grab him by the pussy. I mean, nobody just does that. I felt bad for Billy Bush. You know, he was just sitting there. He's sitting there, some fucking unknown, 2005, you know. He's still kind of unknown, you know. Billy Bush, I'm going to talk about people who are in movies. He's not in a movie, you know. He's a talking head. Cut the guy a little slack. He's sitting there with the Don. The Don's talking shit. He's talking about women, you know, as guys do. I just walk right up and I kiss him. I grab him right by the pussy. You know, Billy's just like, this is Donald Trump. You know, you get caught up in the fame. Oh, yeah, grab him by the pussy. He just went along with it. You know, stay strong, Billy Bush. You shouldn't have deleted your fucking Twitter account, man. You should have hung in there. Fuck these people. They get mad for like 3 fucking days. You know what I mean? It's unfucking believable. He's going to get more shit for that than fucking Hillary's going to get for the goddamn, you know, classified fucking emails. Classified information through her own fucking email. And just somehow that all goes under the rug. I cannot stand. I can tell when Hillary's lying too. That smile she does, you can see it in her eyes when she's lying. And Trump is like, I just don't, he's like a fucking cartoon character. Like, Alec Baldwin as Trump is more believable than Trump as Trump. That's how fucking nuts this guy is. So I started to watch it. Oh, man, Trump had some funny ones. He said to Hillary, he said, if I was running this country, you'd be in jail. You know what's funny? To really see how hard Donald Trump goes, there's a clip. I don't know if you can still find it. The first time Donald Trump was on Letterman, and Rosie O'Donnell had said something about him, and he went off on Rosie O'Donnell, and he goes, well, you know, she's a degenerate, and like, it was just so over the top. Letterman was laughing, just going like, Donald, you just can't go around saying that about people. And he's just like, yeah, no, it's true, she's overweight. He just fucking, like, just no filter, just went right after him. And he hasn't changed at all since he's become a politician. Having said that, like, you know, doesn't mean he's going to make a good president. He's just, you know, I can't get past how many overtly racist people love the guy, and that's always a major red flag. You know what the fuck it is with this fucking election? It's like you either got the guy that's going to rally up the fucking neo-Nazis, the guy that rallies up the white guys that think that there's something being taken away from them, you know, or you got Hillary, you know, but he's actually, you know, or you got Hillary who's actually she's gonna be in bed with the corporate cunts up at the fuck. It's like a lose-lose. You got somebody like rallying up this fucking cesspool of people at the bottom, as far as mental. I'm not talking financially, mentally speaking. Or you got Hillary, who's just, you know, she's going to give them their wars. She's going to let the fucking robots be made and all that you know. I don't know. I don't know what that. oh my God, it's just fucking, and her fucking pantsuits. That's the only thing I like about her. I love the pantsuit. If I was a chick, I would wear fucking pantsuits. I mean, you got to go with it. At some point, as a woman, you reach your pantsuit age, and you just got to give into it. That's like a man. At some point, you got to stop wearing your tank tops, and you got to put on a sport coat. All right? Try to keep the carbs low. Do the best you can. You know, at some point, you just get to that fucking age. Like, that I see. I do have to say, though, this presidential election and these two choices is one of the most depressing fucking things I've been around in a long fucking time. I can't believe, I just can't fucking believe it's a reality TV show star or the fucking devil. Ooh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
All right, Ministry of Truth. Hey there, Billy. Hey there, Billy of Rights. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so fucking jet lagged here. This podcast is really just fucking lagging here. Dragging, I should say. Lots of people are comparing Trump to Hitler. But back in December, Obama tried to quietly pass a bill that would allow the government, I saw this, have jurisdiction over news and outgoing information on all channels, i.e. TV, internet, radio. That includes you. You can read the fine print in the article below. Also, fuck all the people listening who haven't read the legislation but are already up in arms because it goes against who they cheer for. Amen to that. Amen to that. Everybody, like last night, all these fucking guys at this fucking award show, everybody trashing Donald Trump. Nobody brings up the fact that Obama basically signed something that is going to implement an incredible level of fucking censorship. Like they're basically going to decide what is real news and what is fake news. I mean, I'd like to think, because I openly admit that I don't read, and the shit that I say is just fucking absurd, that I would be, exempt. But who knows? But like, people with blue ties do this shit all the fucking time. And that's what kills me about people who wear red ties and watch Fox News and the Hollywood people. Like, they just cannot see the bullshit. It's like listening to a fanatic Red Sox and Yankee fan. You know what I mean? Giving each other shit for buying titles and fucking abusing steroids. And it's like, no, we both did it. We both did it. We should hang our heads in shame collectively. All right, let me see if I can find this article. I don't really even want to fucking read this, because this is just so fucking... let's see. Today, I have signed into law S.2943, the National Defense Authorization Act for the fiscal year 2017. This act authorizes fiscal year 2017 appropriations principally for the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy national security programs, provides vital benefits for military personnel families. Okay, blah, 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 blah. And where do we get to the... Yeah, dude, I can't read all of this. I can't read all of this. This will take me fucking 3 hours to read. This would have to be a part of a mini series for me to read all of this. Okay, here's some shit in bold. The first priority is developing a whole of government strategy for countering the foreign propaganda and disinformation being waged against us and our allies by our enemies. Now that reads great, but it's basically, they want, listen to our propaganda, not their fucking propaganda. Our version of what's going on is right, and their version is wrong. We're all fallible, we're all fucking human beings, but we don't make mistakes, they do. So, I don't know, it just gets back to all of that shit. And you know what, sir, you're never going to solve any of it. Everybody's just going to start fucking screaming at each other. And if you ever bring up something like that, people will call you a socialist and tell you to get the fuck out of the country. If you would ever even remotely suggest that this government would ever fucking lie. They all lie to their fucking people. Oh, God, Bill, shut up. Okay.
Dethroning the bankers. Dear Bill, I know how much you hate the banker cunts, and was wondering if you ever considered getting into Bitcoin. The decentralized nature of the currency creates no need for central banks controlling everything. I'd suggest creating a Bitcoin wallet and playing around with a small amount of Bitcoin to learn how the system works. It's the most exciting thing in technology and finance since the invention of the internet. Love the podcast. Thanks. Go fuck yourself. And he's nice enough to leave the Wikipedia definition. Either that or Andrew Themelis. Let me know what this is. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer payment system and digital currency introduced as open source software in 2009 by pseudonymous developer Satoshi Nakamoto. Dude, Japanese people got the best fucking names. Satoshi Nakamoto. It's a fucking killer name. Bill Burr. Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto. How would you say that if he scored a goal? I can't do it. All right, let me just continue here. ADD. It's a wonderful thing. It's cryptocurrency, so-called because it uses cryptography. Oh, Jesus. To control the creation and transfer of money. Conventionally, Bitcoin refers to the technology and network, whereas lowercase bitcoins refers to the currency itself. Yeah, well, the big problem with this is it's created by human beings. I don't think that bankers are necessarily evil. I just think that they are more evil than I am. They're in a position to absolutely devastate everyone walking the planet. International bankers have that ability. But I really think that the more, I don't know, the more I read up on it and stuff, it's just a bunch of greedy cunts. And like somebody's saying right now, the big conspiracy is that they're going to try to bankrupt all currencies to eliminate all wealth on the planet and then come back with the new currency. And, well, I know that they're not going to eliminate their own wealth. So they're going to make everybody on the planet broke except for them, and they're going to survive. Now, maybe they can do it, but how do you pull that off? That seems like that would have a very finite life before people were just like, all right, I don't know about you guys, but there's like 9 people left in the world that can afford a 3-piece suit, and it's not any one of us 7 billion. What do you say we go over there and beat them with their pocket watches? You know, it's eventually, wouldn't that happen? I don't know. Yeah, I would just like to go back to just open bartering, just trading shit. Hey, I'll give you this shirt for that sandwich. I got plenty of shirts. Fuck. Going hungry again, but look at my waistline. I look awesome. All right, I'll read up on it, sir. I'll look up on it. I'll look up on it. I'll read up on it, and I'll look it up. How about that? I'll do both of those things. I'll look it up, and then I'll read up on it. A lot of up going on there. All right, donation currency. Hey, Bill, longtime listener. Love the show. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get right to the point. The person wrote blah, 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 blah. Before you think I'm being arrogant. Let's get right to the point. You should think about adding another way of donating on your website. Bitcoins. Why is that? You have fans in places so fucking strange that you don't even know where it is on the goddamn globe. Go fuck yourself. I know where most places are on the globe, and I know their capitals. At least I used to. It's in my head somewhere. They use different currency, which might be a problem. Bitcoin is providing an easy way to... Is this a commercial? An easy way to transfer wealth. Use it and welcome to the 21st century. By the way, I'm from Poland. It's really cold in here. It's a second language. All right. I would think that if whoever starts Bitcoin, if they don't get murdered in the next calendar year, then it's just started by the bankers. Or they're just going to buy it up. They'll sell out, right? I don't know. I'm not going to fucking start using a new currency. All right? I saw what happened with the euro. I'm going to go with Bitcoin that started by some fucking hippie Japanese guy. Or even worse, a businessman Japanese guy. Ah, Jesus Christ. You can't tell me they're not still upset by the 2-piece we gave them back in the 40s. All right. French Revolution and bankers. Hi there, Billy Bandwagon. I've been a fan of the Monday Morning Podcast for a while now, and you were on the Crab Feet podcast. Oh, yeah, with Jay Lawson on the All Things Comedy Network, everybody. He said it reminded me of something. Pre-revolution France was almost identical to the way the U.S. is now. Oh, God, I hate when people keep predicting the demise of this country like they're giving us some sort of insight, like people in this country can't see it coming. All right? I'm not saying every mouth-breathing moron sees it coming, but, you know, anybody who has any sort of intelligence, we see it coming, okay? All right there, Mr. fucking rubbing your goddamn chin. Actually, he's probably an American, too. All right, France in 1787 had grinding poverty, tax inequality, and was nearly bankrupt from the 7 Years' War. And then he writes, familiar? ? I'm not even going to read this fucking thing. You're already so up your own ass. Wow, I never looked at it that way. Wait, does history repeat itself? Gee, you're really onto something here, sir. Good fucking Lord. You know what's funny about this type of shit? Is this probably isn't even this person's thought. They're probably just regurgitating something else that they've read from a website, which I do all the fucking time. I do the exact same thing you're doing here, sir, except I don't go, familiar? Some people are confused. Why can't people just present a fucking an opinion without, like, patting themselves on the back about how fucking smart they are all the time? You know, you're a fucking moron just like me, okay? I'm going to read this, and I'm gonna skip over. Familiar? Does that ring a bell? Pot calling the kettle? Hoo, hoo, hoo. Ah, with your fucking smoking jacket, you cunt. All right, here we go. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. He goes, familiar? It should be. The modern U.S. actually has worse wealth and tax inequality than 1787 France and even pre-fall of Rome. Dude, this is all old shit. I've already heard this theory a zillion times before you present it. And, you know, and I'm not going to fucking read this and get all fucking depressed because I understand this. This is why I got out of conspiracy theory and just got a dog, and I'm sitting here watching the bread and circus of fucking sports like I never have before, because there's no way out of this. Rather than present this shit to me, I want you to write back to me and give me your solution. You give me the fucking solution rather than pointing out the fucking obvious as you rub your goddamn chin. All right? Jesus fucking Christ. All right, sorry. I was having such a great goddamn day. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's the Monday Morning Podcast. Sorry, for the fucking March 2nd. I got to tell you something. Oh, I'm coming out of the gate this week, people. I just did like 8 minutes. A great fucking 8 minutes, a great fucking riff, the whole goddamn thing. And then I look down and the fucking goddamn stupid-ass fucking thing isn't even on. You know why? This is the exact same fucking device. I had the Olympus LS10. Now it's the Olympus 14. And wouldn't you fucking know, they couldn't just leave well enough alone. They got to add like 20 fucking steps and some stupid broad's fucking voice in there telling me what I know I'm doing. So I fucking riff for like 8 fucking minutes and I find out the thing isn't even fucking recording. I hate technology, okay? I don't understand why do we keep going forward. All right, we got enough shit. This is as comfortable as it's gonna fucking get. Why can't we just have the shit and this is how it fucking works? And when you figure something out, you know how it fucking works. Jesus fucking Christ. I told you guys, and I fucking will never stop bitching about these things. I fucking was talking on my podcast saying how, you know, I needed a new pair of fucking headphones one week, right? So some fucking person who listens to the podcast ended up sending me a pair of fucking wireless fucking headphones. Wireless fucking headphones. And I gotta tell you, I've never had more fucking problems with something in my life. You fucking sitting there, my whole life, headphones fucking work. You plug them into something that's charged. The headphones never, the amount of fucking times I sat there with my phone listening to fucking music. My phone is charged, and then the headphones went out, and I couldn't listen. It's just fucking, why did you add that step? Electronic pencil sharpeners and all that shit, and now it's just something that's going to fucking, that drives me up the other one, the other pencil sharpener, you could buy a pencil sharpener once, and you can have that thing for 100 fucking years. And little kids could walk up and be like, oh, this was my grandfather's. When he used to, you know, fucking sharpen pencils, and when he built stuff. When we still had good wood in this country. Right? It wasn't all wet because it was brand new fucking trees. It was old shit. Oh, my God. Dude, I was in such a great fucking mood. It's completely changed the whole fucking vibe of this goddamn thing. Anyways, let me relax. Calm down. Let me try to get back to where I was. I was in such a fucking great mood because I'm back out here in Los Angeles. Let me make sure this thing's recording. Let me make sure everything's okay. The goddamn nerve center here, you know? Fuck. All right, from Turkey. I'm sick of being called a delusional conspiracy theorist by my family and my lady. He said, I live in the Republic of Turkey. Maybe you've heard that there was a coup here last year. Yes, I did. I put it in quotation because it was the most pathetic attempt in Turkish history. So it didn't go down like the Ukraine. Long conspiracy short, your guys were losing control of our guys, whom they installed here to have a nice little proxy to the lovely oil desert downtown. Desert's downtown. I already love how this person is thinking. So they try to pull the carpet from under our guys because God knows they can't pass aggression wars in your Congress anymore since you American citizens are woke as fuck now, thankfully.
I guess we're not, because I don't know what any of this means. By the way, you don't write like you're from Turkey. Like this is your second language. You're using like really high-level slang for someone who lives on the other side of the world. Anyways, this pathetic coup attempt created a lot of turmoil here. I mean, it would be less destructive if it succeeded, because now through their paranoia, they are going full apeshit, which turns Turkey to a bittersweet heaven for a conspiracy theorist like myself with all the stuff going on. All right, well, there's no fucking way I'm reading your name so you don't end up in a jail if you actually are from Turkey. I can deal with my family's indifference to all this, and my friends are most like me regarding these subjects. But the fact that my girl stonewalls me, goes, yeah, doll, okay, really annoys me down deep. Of course it does. Anytime you're passionate about an opinion and somebody just goes, oh, really? Okay, sweetheart. Forget about it if it's a woman that you have feelings for. She is a totally dope chick in every other aspect. Dude, you're not from Turkey. You're not from Turkey, but I'll continue with this. Fun to hang out, hates the movies and music I hate, has C-cup fun pillows that were sculpted by God himself for my palms, but I can't help lose respect for her when it comes to her not giving a single shit about politics and stuff. She's convinced she doesn't get affected by them for some reason, and it doesn't matter. I'm curious how you dealt with this feeling. Also, I'm very interested in how you reach information about the world and what news outlets you trust. From Turkey with love to you and Nia. All right, well, let's say you're from Turkey. Very impressive, your English and your slang. You're actually better at my language than I am. All right, here's what you have to understand as a conspiracy theorist is that you're really, you're a lot to deal with, and you really wear people out. This is what I learned when I went down the rabbit hole, which I got out of a good 2-3 years ago, is that as much as you don't trust what the fuck people are telling you, which is really common sense. And I'm not saying there's a bunch of fucking crazy people living under a mountain pulling the strings. But what I'm saying is that everybody is spinning the shit because everybody has their own agenda. So you don't, like if you fucking showed up to a 2-car accident, okay, both people are going to spin it in a way. Even if one person was 100% right, they're still going to spin it. So there's no fucking way that, they can be perceived. They're going to spin it just because the other person is spinning it, just to offset their spinning of it. It's like listening to that whole fucking Russia hacked into our shit. You're going to listen to the Democrats spinning it, the Republicans spinning it, the CIA spinning it, and then fucking Russia, their spin on it. So at the end of it, who the fuck knows what happened? I just love how our country is acting like we don't spy on Russia. And we don't try to influence elections around the fucking world. And we haven't placed people in power, taken people out, and all of that. It's fucking hilarious. All of a sudden it happens to us, and it's a big goddamn tragedy. So I would say respect the fact that she's not into politics. I'm envious of people that can then, I kind of did that after a while. Like, after a while, it's just like you're screaming into a tornado. All right? It's way bigger than you are. There are people out there that have the ability and the influence to fucking, I guess, turn shit around, but I'm not that guy. I'm just some fucking guy ruining your beer at a bar by bringing all my delusional, paranoid fucking thoughts, whether I'm right or not, which I was probably right on a few things, like Mel Gibson in that movie where he drove the taxi cab. I was probably right about a few fucking things, but I don't know what they are. So all you're doing is just annoying the shit out of people, and I have to be honest with you, if your girl actually loves you and she's to the point of responding of, yeah, doll, okay, I think you've probably worn her down. I bet she didn't say that in the beginning. She probably listened to it, and you probably freaked her out, and you don't have a solution. You're just saying all this fucking shit that's just going to ruin her day. So maybe that's her defense mechanism. And what I'm doing is I'm not going Dr. Phil here and just siding with the woman, because I don't have a female audience, unlike that fucking dishonest cunt, right? You need to do what she says. Woo! When you look, ladies, when you look at Dr. Phil, when you honestly look at that man, do you see somebody, do you not see how volatile a human being that guy is? Can you just imagine living with that man when he loses his shit? Just imagine that semi-bald head and face just beet red screaming at you. His spittle getting caught in his mustache. Just imagine that. And he's a big man, too, okay? I'm telling you. I know he's got that southern drawl, and you just think everybody's a fucking gentleman. You know, the way women love a foreign fucking accent. I guess guys like it, too. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, let's get back to this guy. To lose respect for the fact that somebody's not into what the fuck you're into is, that's a sign, you know. It'd be one thing if she just didn't give a fuck about, I don't know. I'd have to know who the fuck she was. That could just be a defense mechanism where it's just like, whatever, it doesn't affect my life. You know, I've done that with global warming and all of that type of shit. I've just started to block it out because there's nothing I can do to get people to, I don't even know what the fucking solution is. The only solution I have is to fucking exterminate most of us, 90% of us, and then just fucking everybody sits in a ball and hopes that everything that we've put into the earth and into the air kind of goes away after a while. That's the only solution I have, which I don't think that that's going to work. So, I don't know. I just, you know, I try to fucking do whatever the fuck I can do, which is, you know, I don't know. See, dude, this is why people don't like, see, you literally bringing this up has brought me to a dark fucking place. And your email alone just told me that, just got me to say that we need to exterminate 90% of the people on the fucking planet. How insane is that? How are you going to do that, Bill? You going to do that to babies too? Or you're not going to do babies, but you're going to kill all those fucking parents, and then what? You're going to have the most giant fucking nursery? Like, it all unravels. The whole fucking thing. That's why I kind of stopped doing the conspiracy theory thing, even though I still throw it out there because it's fun. And I also don't believe a fucking word anybody's telling me when it comes to that shit. You know, one-on-one, you know, if I sat down with somebody and there's not cameras around, then I feel like they can really be honest with me. But the second you're on TV, you know, it's only so honest you could be. So, I don't know. I would probably guess that on some level you're a lot to be around during certain news stories. And I think you should lighten up a little bit. Take your girlfriend out, go get a fucking ice cream, and enjoy the fact that someone as beautiful as you're saying she is, actually can tolerate you and your fucking theories. All right? Having said that, if I ever go to Turkey, I'll definitely have a beer with you, and I'll go fucking toe for toe with you with conspiracy theories. All right. And thank you for listening to the podcast. What happened? What happened to the public schools? Was it the computers? Is that what it was? Everybody had to have a tablet, a laptop, some sort of interface. Is that what happened? And went right through the fucking, and then all of a sudden we couldn't keep up with China. How the fuck is China beating us? The overhead of a fucking billion people alone. I mean, we should get everything at a 60% discount over here as far as educating our own people. Does it make any sense? Does any of it make any fucking sense? Does it make any sense how so many people are fucking struggling out there and they just keep building these luxury apartments and these fucking giant goddamn houses? People, right? And they always, it's money from Russia, it's money from China, it's oil money from the Middle East. Now listen, I don't know what to do about China, I don't know what to do about Russia, and I don't know what to do about the Middle East, but that's not going to stop me from telling you what to do about all these things. I just ate. Why is my stomach grumbling? This is all you got to do for the Middle East, okay? All we do is you embrace solar power. That's it. How do we do that? How do we do that with the oil companies? If somebody if we actually went in a solar direction, wouldn't a bunch of planes start crashing that had the leaders of the solar movement on them? Yes, that would definitely happen. They would definitely take them out. So what do? This is what you do. You give the sun to the oil people. Okay? You draw up a contract and you say the sun is yours. All right? Now what are they going to do with the sun? They can't put it out. They can't touch it. It'll burn their fucking hands. But they just make the money off the fucking the solar power. Okay? And if they could just somehow handle that those people in the Middle East are sitting on a bunch of goop that they can make money off of, if they could just seamlessly fucking walk away from that shit. If I was president, I would literally give oil companies federal fucking grants to fucking get the solar thing going. You guys own the sun. I would just keep walking, but you own the sun. And they'd be saying, but what about the stuff in the Middle East over? Dude, fuck that stuff. All right? You know what that stuff is? That stuff's like it's like an Atari. It's like the Reebok pump. Nobody gives a shit. Okay? This is the new shit. This is the new shit. We're giving you the fucking sun, son. You understand that? You own the center of this solar system. All right? And every fucking little bit of heat that comes off that thing that trickles down onto my freckled, bald goddamn head, you own. You put a fucking meter right on my back. I don't give a shit, okay? And I know what you guys are thinking. Bill, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't give a shit. Listen to me. Hear me out. You give these people the sun. You give them the goddamn sun. All right? And then what? What happens over in the Middle East? They're sitting on all of this fucking goop. All right? And all of a sudden, it's not worth diddly squat. Okay? And all of a sudden, the bills start piling up. They don't know what to do. They start selling their properties over here. They want to give money to the terrorist groups. They don't got the money to do it. You fucking bleed them dry. And that's it. And then they go back to doing whatever the fuck they want to do over there. God forbid they live their lives the way they want to live it over there. God forbid they're not into Jesus and Starbucks. God for fucking bid. They want to walk around in some clothes that are actually functional for the part of the world they live in. You just leave them the fuck alone. And then all they got to do is just keep driving around in cars and all of that shit. So they'll make a lot less money. But they won't have us over there going, hey, you should do this and you should do that. We just get the fuck out of there. Then we're over here. Solar powered everything. Right? Just think about everything. Think about your shirt. Solar powered. Everything. Everything fucking solar powered. I know what you're thinking. Well, Bill, what happens at night? You go to bed. What do people do in Alaska during the winter? Fuck them. We gotta get out. We gotta get out of that place. If it's the last thing we ever do. It's bankrupting us. It's making very few people a ton of fucking money. It is bankrupting us. We're not gonna, you cannot solve that shit, okay? So, now that we know you can't solve it, because I said you can't solve it without doing any research, now that I've established that as a fact on my own podcast, the only other reason to be over there is they're sitting on all that goop. But now we don't need the goop. The goop is on fire. We don't give a fuck. Keep it. Right? You give the sun to the oil companies. That's it. Just go total solar power. You know? Jimmy Carter, that Georgia peanut farmer, he said it 40 years ago. He said, we are addicted to oil. We just kept going and going and going. And now look at us. Now look at us. Now look at us spending all this fucking money over there. They're giving it to the cunts that are shooting shit at us, right? And then we're shooting back at them. They're making all this money, and then they come over here and they buy a 50,000 square foot house, overlooking our shit. Overlooking our shit. Hey, we overlook you. We're up on the hill, not the other way around, huh? You give them the sun. Oh God, you guys, I'm telling you. I would have that. I would fucking sell those oil guys. I would have a meeting under a mountain, wherever the fuck you meet with these fucking people that really run shit. You know, you're underneath the mountain. You got this fucking underwater waterfalls and shit, right? There's like these Planet of the Apes fucking things walking or whatever the fuck goes on underneath that thing, right? And you just tell them, is that shit? Oh, I can't do a waterfall. What am I fucking, the dude from Police Academy? I can't do that sound effects. Gentlemen, I came underneath this mountain tonight to give you the sun. I'm sorry, I don't have my proper recording equipment here. I can't do my Illuminati meeting. You give him the fucking sun. You give him the sun. Give him the fucking sun. Boop, 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 boop. That's what I would do. Instead of going over there talking about evildoers and doers of evil and fucking this, that, and the other, you pack the whole fucking shit up. That's it. You pack it all up. You send over 10 cargo planes, you bring the men and women of the armed forces, you bring them home. Right? You say, you can keep your goop. You can keep your sand. But I want some of those cool clothes. I like the clothes they wear over there. The giant open-ended onesie, whatever the fuck you call it. I think those things are cool, man. I want one of those. Can I buy one of those without offending Muslims? Could I talk my way out of a beheading if I put one of those on? Just be like, look, man, I'm a redhead. It was hot out. Look how pasty I am. What am I supposed to do? Then they get in my face. You blew it. That's it. That's all I wanted to say today. Give the oil companies the sun. You give it to them, and then the whole fucking thing is over. Whatever. I believe I can fly. You give them the sun, everybody. I'm telling you, that would turn this country around. Turn this country around. Just give them the sun. That's it. So anyways, I flew the other day. Flew up along the coast. Went by the Pacific Palisades. And you're just sitting there looking. That's what the whole give them the sun shit came from. I looked, I said, look at that fucking house they're building. This house was... The size of this house, I looked at it and I said to the instructor, I go, that looks like they're building a fucking mall that I would never go into. Going like, that's going to be too crowded. And it was somebody's house. It was going to cost $500 million. And there was some prince of some fucking country in the Middle East, you know, was going to move. That's like his fucking house on the other side of the world. That's his cottage. And that right there, I was just like, how much fucking money are we giving to these people? It's time to give the oil companies the sun. That's all you do. So they're still in control of everything. You know, they could give us empty threats. Well, shut it off! You know, like they could do it. All right, global warming scam. All right. Global warming scam. Okay, this is like something that people keep sending me. And they keep sending it to me as if my opinion has any sort of scientific background. I'm just basing it on scientists. That's all I'm basing it on. And that fucking 2.5 times the size of Texas and 2 miles deep swirl of garbage in the fucking Pacific Ocean. Then how just about every fish has some degree of plastic in their fucking system. Okay, but none of that has to do with temperature. I love your show. It's really refreshing to hear someone in show business actually talk about some very important social pertinent things. When the fuck do I ever do that? Like what, football? Three-toed sloths? Flopping your dick on the bar? These are important to you? I agree with everything you talk about on your show. I don't need you to. He goes, except, or she says, he or she, except global warming. The global warming scam is another system of control. I agree we should stop using oil and coal. These carbon sources are highly polluting and release toxins and mercury into the biosphere, but this has nothing to do with global warming. I know you love documentaries. God, can you guys just stop being maybe I'm taking it in a cunty way. I know you love documentaries. God knows you don't read. He's probably right. Look up global warming swindle on YouTube. A little taste into the global warming rat hole. There's a ton of other information on the web that exposes this bullshit scam. Good luck and looking forward to hear what you have to say about this. See, I don't get that. I'm supposed to just look up a bunch of shit that all agrees with the other side and then the other side's wrong? That's like me saying to you, look up all this shit about global warming and how we're affecting the climate. And I'm looking forward to see what you have to say. I would think that the fact that in France, all the leaders of the world just got together with all these scientists and all that, and even on the right, they've been saying it's bullshit from day one. From day one, they were saying it's fucking bullshit. Even they finally came out and they said, yeah, we are affecting it. And then they were like, but it's too late to do anything now. Like, that's what they came out with. So why would they be doing that? Wait a minute. You're saying that they're doing it to try to control us. That's such a long way to go, isn't it? Can't they just control us by scaring the shit out of us? The normal way? Like, oh, there's this group of people that doesn't have planes or a boat, and they're coming over here to get us. Like they've been doing for 15 fucking years. Can't they just do that? I'll watch those things, but I would like to know who paid for those, who financed those documentaries. Because if they're companies that are getting attacked for it, you know, there's obviously, you know, getting attacked for the pollutants that they're putting into the atmosphere, then, you know, they could be going, well, we need to get this off of us by putting the real information out there. But generally speaking, I as a rule, I don't believe corporations. I just don't. People in general. I mean, I'm full of shit, right? Why the fuck would I believe? I'll watch it. You know what? You know what? This is the thing. I actually hope you're right, because then I can have a lot less guilt and just go out and buy some fucking goddamn V8, man. Get out there and fucking drive around, do some donuts. P.S. Global warming carbon credits are controlled by the same crooked bankers that are fucking up the world economy. Well, I kind of think like the bankers, don't they control everything? They kind of own everything, right? Are we still making payments on the White House? Do they have to refinance that? I know it burned down in the 1800s. Who knows?
of the week. Bill, you often talk about conspiracies. Yes, I do. This may or may not fall into that category, but it definitely pisses me off. I love this guy already. I don't know if this is a conspiracy, but it fucking pisses me off. Eyeball to eyeball with you so far, buddy. All right, I get my cable and internet service bundled together from Time Warner. Last month with my bill, I got an insert stating that they were modifying their privacy policy. Basically, it states Time Warner reserves the right to distribute my internet content with or without my consent. From my understanding, this could mean anything from the searches I requested from Google to the websites I have been to. What rights do we have in this country anymore? Just venting. All right, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Basically, what they've been doing the entire fucking time since the beginning of the internet is now becoming legal. So for all you people out there who always thought like I love when you watch like those talk shows and they talk about sexting, like your text messaging, you know, I want to fuck you from behind, whatever. Why that's sexy, I have no idea. You know, do you think their thumbs tremble? But whatever, I'm not going to judge. Or like they talk about Skype sex, and they'll be like, why do these people do this? Why would somebody who would never, and they always bring a psychologist on, right? They always have a beard, so you know that they majored in psychology, right? And then they always say the same shit. And they'll be just like, well, it's the anonymity of it. They feel anonymous. And in that situation, they do things that they normally wouldn't done. Well, first of all, people, it's not anonymous, you dumb fucks. It isn't. They're just saying it's anonymous. They just said it. You don't think that they're building a file on you? It's all these fucking morons who've lived a life of the straight and narrow, get on Skype, and they stick their junk right in the camera. You're an idiot. You're done. You're already done because they're building robots right now to fucking replace all of us. And what did you do? But they're going to keep some of us because somebody's got to oil their fucking robot joints. And what did you do? You stuck your dick in the camera. You processed. It's over. It's over. You got to take the driver's test. I wouldn't even study. You're fucking finished. You're going to get processed just like those people in that fucking movie with that guy who just died. I can never remember the name. What's the name of it? Patrick Swayze was in it. Blood Force Thunder. New America. What the fuck was it called? Here come the Russians. Piss in the radiator. All that hatred's gonna eat you up. Keeps me warm. Remember that? Ed Bagley Jr. was in it? No, he wasn't. The fucking the kid who was in Soul Man was in it. And he shot his friend. Avenge me! Come on. Red Dawn! Jesus Christ, Brian, you're a fucking director. Do you get that, man? When you get like that panic, that brain panic?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay, you just got it? Okay, good. I thought it was only me. Yeah, absolutely. Know this, people. If you want to watch porn, the porn industry is going through what the music industry is going through right now, where all of a sudden the shit just became free. All right? So now everybody's fucking whacking off on the internet thinking nobody's watching what you're fucking rubbing your shit out to. They're all watching, and they're building a fucking file. All right? You think already, haven't you noticed why the presidents keep getting worse and worse, and they keep fucking getting on their knees and blowing the banks more and more? It's because of the internet. All they got to do is break out their internet file and show them some of the shit that they know that they jerked off to, and it's over. It's fucking over. You got to do everything that they're going to say. They're going to expose you. They don't even need to take you to Dallas anymore. That's old school. That's why Kennedy got shot in the head. If there was an internet, he'd still be walking around talking right now, cutting a ribbon at his fucking library, shitting his pants. He would give the eulogy at Fathead Ted's fucking funeral. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, if you want to jerk off to something freaky, I would say go to a porn store and just deal with the fact that the guy behind the counter is going to know what you got. Pay cash and walk away. It's a done deal. But if you're going to go on the internet and do some of the shit that you're doing,
All you can hope now is that you're going to get lost in the shuffle. Actually, you can continue to do what you're doing as long as you never try to if you never try to effectively effect change. You know what I mean? That's when they break out your internet file. Other than that, it just goes on a fucking database. But the second you start a movement going, you know what, dude? I'm sick of paying $25 for my first bag when I get on a plane. If you get enough people behind you, United will now go to Time Warner and be like, yeah, Russell Johnson. Yeah, open his file. What is he jerk? What's the most fucked up thing he's jerked off to? That is the end of the movement. Because then Fox News will get it, and they'll just be, it turns out Russell Johnson jerked off to a tranny and a midget last week. This is the guy who's going to lead us? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm doing Glenn Beck. I don't. That fucking guy. Jesus Christ. I respect those guys because they're in show business. I just wish, maybe they can't admit that they're in show business. It's like wrestling. For the longest time, they couldn't say that it was fake. But now, you know, at some point, come on, just say, look, we're doing fake news. We know who's going to win in the end of this shit. Oh, no, it's all horrible. All right, well, how much time are we up to here?
Internet privacy, everybody. Hey, Billy, thought you might like this. A private internet access provider took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling out 50 senators who voted to monitor the public's internet activity for financial gain. What? People care a lot about their public image, and I think this should be done more to combat assholes. Let me click on this thing. I can't click on it because I'm not on the internet. Hang on. Let me try and find this here. I got to see who the cunts are. Who are the cunts? That's signed onto this. All right. We are the cunts. We don't give a shit. All right, hello world. These are the 50 senators who voted to monitor your internet activity. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't read them. They're too fucking small. All right. Oh, Jesus. What are they, all Republicans? Dude, the way they vote, man, because there was probably something else that was pro-conservative. That's the only reason why the fucking Democrats didn't. It's so fucking Hatfield and McCoy's. It's basically, it's all Republicans. Representative from Tennessee, Alexander. Representative from Wyoming, Barrasso. Blunt from Missouri. Boozman from Arkansas. Burr from North Carolina, you fucking piece of shit. Ruining the name. Caputo from West Virginia. Cassidy from Louisiana. Cochran from Mississippi. Collins from Maine. Corker from Tennessee. You know what? I'm gonna just retweet this fucking picture. Jesus Christ, Republicans, all Republicans. Cruz from Texas, Crapo from Idaho, some hell of a names. Dames from Montana. Another one from Wyoming. NZ from Wyoming. Ernst from Iowa. This is all of this shit. Rubio from Florida. Perdue from Georgia. Portman from Ohio. This is all saying it's fake news. It's all fake news. You know, it's basically, who's kidding who? News, it's propaganda. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. But what they want is their bullshit in your brain. That's what they want. So what they want to do is gradually take control of this shit. And they're going to make fake news. Basically, your opinion of what's going on, they're going to make that like illegal to do. And they're probably looking over at China, going like, hey, China, how the fuck did you do this? And China's going like, all right, this is how we did it. So they gradually do that, much like the Nazis were looking at us going like, hey, how did you do that shit to the Native Americans? Because we want to do that to the Jews. Now we're going to do that probably looking. I bet the fucking higher up 1% cunts, the people who make profit off of war and everybody's misery, I bet they are envious of the internet in Red China the way, you or I is envious when somebody drives down the street by you in a fucking Ferrari. I don't know. All right. Well, I'm good for that person that put that up there. That's fucking disgusting. I wonder what was linked to it, though. You know what I mean? Because it's never just, in defense of all of those fucking people, it's never just one thing, which is another bullshit thing. When they vote for something, shouldn't it just be one thing? Should we or should we not vote for solar power? It should just be about that. But then they tag all this other shit onto the bill, which is fucking, that's how they get everything through. And then it's always like, something completely fucked up. And then when that person goes to run for office, You know, they voted for the bill because they're into solar power, but then the thing that the appendix that they put onto it, they can be like, this guy doesn't think kids should have ice cream. He voted against that. It's like, no, I voted for alternative sources of energy to bankrupt the terrorists. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I don't read up on a lot of the environmental stuff because it's too fucking depressing. I love animals, man. I love the earth, man. I don't want to see life dying and all that shit. I don't know. I don't know what this. There's just too many of us. It's just like, I think a plague is coming, or I actually think that the robots will be in control of the upper 1%ers, and they will gradually take all of us out. And then what it will be each one of those Illuminati guys will have their own robot with all the answers. I mean, it's a fucking, it can play guitar like Jimi Hendrix. It can design the most beautiful architecture. It's the greatest farmer. It's just whatever you need it to fucking do, it can do. So you'll never go hungry. You'll always be entertained. And on top of that, it'll be the best looking chick you've ever seen in your life, and you can fuck its brains out. I mean, right there, if that's not going to be the extinction of all the regular people like myself, I think that that's what's going to happen. And then the earth will gradually cool. With all of our deaths, the Great Barrier Reef will come back. And the upper 1% will have what they always wanted, complete control. But I actually think they'll get bored after a while. You know? There's nobody to oppress. There's nobody to look down on. You know? That's actually a fascinating fucking movie, would it be? Like, there's just no more challenge. Right? And those robots know how to, like, you know, they can, like, grow an ear in a petri dish. Eventually they'll be able to grow all vitals. You know what I mean? And then you can just live forever. What would you do? What would you do? There's a reason why you die. You just run out of shit. What the fuck would you do? I would just keep learning shit. It's like, all right, for the next 80, like every 80 years, you just pick being something. All right, this 80 years, I'm going to be a gearhead. I'm going to learn how to take a whole fucking car apart, put it back together, make it fast and loud. I'll just learn how to do that shit. I'll have the robot right here. It knows everything. It'll fucking teach me how to do it. And then once I get it down, you know, and I do that for a while, you know, fucking learn every instrument, learn every language. You're eventually just going to run out of shit to do. And you just be looking at your robot just going like, dude, I know this is fucking nuts. I know we've been together now, sweetheart, for fucking 800 years, but could you do me a favor? Do you want me to kick you in the balls? No, sweetheart, I don't. It'd be funny if even though it totally looked real, it totally felt like a real person, but they could never perfect the voice, so it still fucking talk like that. You are the best I've ever had. Just like, bitch, stop talking. You're killing it for me. You have to just say to the fucking thing, look, 800 years, okay? I'm coming up on 800 years. All right, I've lived more years than Hank Aaron hit home runs. Could you do me a favor? On my 800th birthday, I know what I want. Okay? Could you just choke me to death, please? They'll not compute, you know, and they won't kill you. And then your punishment is that you live forever. You know, you're kind of like a vampire at that point because you can kind of seduce any woman you want because they're all going to be, you know, you're just going to get, you know what, I bet after a while, if you live long enough, you just start banging, you'd make like ugly chick robots and you just bang them because you're so sick of banging tens. I mean, it's a hell of a goddamn, I don't think human beings can survive in that. You just think of all the shit that's going to happen. The more I vaguely pay attention to all that space shit, you know, I hate people who are into space, by the way. They was talking about, you understand, man, just how insignificant fucking. It's like, yeah, I get it. You know what I understand is we've seen how gigantic it is, yet we haven't found anything. So I still think this place is pretty amazing. As fascinating as Mars is, there's nothing to do there. I don't understand these fucking people that want to go to Mars and live there. And it's like, and do what? Huh? live in some fucking strip mall for the rest of your life, some Star Trek looking strip mall, fucking drinking Tang, just so you can say, oh yeah, you know, that's your big fucking move. You know, people want to live on Mars. That means they suck at everything else in life, right? They got nothing, you know. You know what it is. You graduate high school. You want to come back someday, right? Smoking a big cigar. Going, hey, you know, yeah, I was that guy who used to push around the playground, but you know what I did, right? I did things. I did things, and now I smoke this, and I drive that, and see that over there? That's fucking me. Admit it, I matter. So usually, in this day and age, that means you're going to try to create an app, right? You're going to fucking, I don't know, get some sort of, you start a website where you curate videos and fucking news. I don't know what these fucking millennials do, but I think if you suck at that, right? If you can't play an instrument, and your ego cannot just handle just being happy with what you have, I think at that point it's like, I can't just go back to my high school reunion just being some regular Joe, waking up in the morning, putting my coffee in my thermos, going into the shower and quietly crying as the water cascades over my face, and my wife comes walking in going, are you all right? Just be like, yeah, I just sneezed. I'm fine. Just washing my face. Just washing my face. Right? I think at some point, either you just fucking give in and just say, hey, man, you know, being a regular guy is kind of fucking cool, you know? Or you can't handle it, right? This reminds me, I've never seen A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. You know, there's too much gritting of teeth in that movie. That's right, Iceman, I am dangerous. Right? Too much of that shit, so I never watched it, you know? Bunch of people walking around dressed in fucking little Navy suits. Anyways, if you can't fucking handle that, you got to go back to your high school reunion. You got to do something. And I think at that point, that's when you just say, listen, I got to live on Mars. I mean, I can't go back with nothing. I got to have something to say. That's like Lance Bass. He couldn't handle that Justin Timberlake walked away from NSYNC, right? I want it that way. Whatever the fuck they sang. That song where they all acted like puppets, right? He just fucking walked away. You know, and you got the one guy, the goatee guy. He's got a sense of humor about himself. He makes all these funny commercials. He'll do a thing. He doesn't give a fuck, right? You got the dreadlock guy. Did he used to bang Jennifer Aniston, or was that the other guy? Who's some white guy with dreadlocks used to go out with Jennifer Aniston? You know? Every one of those beautiful celebrities always dates a guy, and you always have that really? You got that moment like, wow. Why didn't I learn how to fucking play the ukulele and wear flip-flops? That's what I had to do. Fucking walking around with your goddamn man tits. Anyway, sorry. And I think Lance couldn't handle it. He's just like, what the fuck? You know, so then next thing you know, he's signing up to go out in space. To somehow try and outdo, what'd you put out future sexy songs? Huh? Right? I'm going to outer space. What? Oh, what is it about wearing your pajamas in the middle of the day that it just fucking opens your mind up? You know what I mean?